Recording in progress. Hello, folks. Alina Phoenix here with Phoenix Healing Creations, and I just wanted to talk to you about the big energy that keeps going through the field of our planet, the collective consciousness, our bodies, and how to help yourself be just a little bit more comfortable through all this mess that we're going through. It occurs to me as I was telling one more person that I keep saying over and over again, we're in some really big energies right now. And that just seems to be the theme of 2025. So, how on earth can we support ourselves and help ourselves to be more comfortable in this giant, huge evolutionary ascension energy that we are going through? Well, first thing I want to say is we need to drop our judgments about what it's supposed to look like. There's this idea that it's supposed to feel one way or the other, or that we're supposed to be one way or the other. There's no manual for this, people. Let us just give each other the grace of allowing everyone, including yourself, to have whatever experience that you're having without that. Oh, if I was just high vibration enough, I wouldn't be experiencing this bullpucky. Or, ooh, what did you do to attract that into your life? Like, can we just stop shaming people for having bad experiences? Because life is yin and yang. It doesn't matter how high vibration you are, it's not going to stop the stuff in life from happening. Like, let's take, for example, someone who many would consider to be the highest vibration, most enlightened, most amazing person that's ever lived, Jesus Christ. Well, if he was so high vibration and being high vibration keeps bad things from happening, how do you explain his crucifixion? And how do you explain the fact that here we are over 2,000 years later and he's still hanging on that cross for the world to see in so many places? You would think that if he was so high vibration and so revered and so divine, that he could have perhaps avoided being tortured and killed. So now that we have put the myth that being high vibration enough keeps bad things happening to rest, perhaps we can just give each other and ourselves the grace of having our experiences without sitting there and blaming ourselves for the bad things that are happening. Because blaming and shaming on top of having a bad time doesn't make a bad time better. So let's just say, you know what? Whatever it is that you're going through, you deserve to be loved and supported and met where you are. And we can say that to whoever we are meeting in the world, and we can say that to ourselves when we look in the mirror and maybe start treating ourselves with a bit more kindness and compassion. I think that that is the first and foremost, most important thing that we can do. And if you're not sure what that looks like, just be honest. Be honest about that. Dear me, I don't know how to support myself through this. Can you give me some clue? Give me an idea of what I need to support myself through this. Dear inner me, I don't know how to love the way that this feels, but I know that this is just something else that is here to be loved. Please help me figure out how to love and support this. Admitting the truth, that's an act of courage and a high vibration act, and it keeps us in coherence inside of ourselves. Like when we sit there and do this thing where it's like, okay, I'm having a bad day. Oh, I can't admit that I'm having a bad day because that's going to attract more bad things to happen. Better slap some gratitude on top of that and try to think some happy thoughts. Like you're creating an internal dissonance. And that's not going to make things better. That's going to make things worse. And it's going to make it harder to go through. It is a higher vibration thing to say, hey, this sucks. And I'm not sure what I'm doing, than it is to say, oh, better raise my vibration. I'm getting low vibration again. Better raise my vibration. Oh, I better put some gratitude on top of that. I wouldn't want to attract more bad things to happen. Like, can we stop being at war inside of ourselves, please, and just admit that both the light and the dark are part of life, regardless of how high vibration anybody is? To be high vibration means to be able to return to balance no matter what we're experiencing. And the faster we can return to balance, the higher vibration we are. That's it. It doesn't mean that you're magically never going to experience negative things in the world. You're not going to have any unpleasant emotions. It doesn't mean that at all. It doesn't. So let's just go ahead and retire that idea, please. Okay. And that's the first thing that we can do to truly support ourselves and everyone else through this wonderful ascension, great evolution that we are experiencing together. Second thing we can do is we can drop our judgments about what the right way to do this ascension is, because there is no one right way. Nobody was handed a manual. And the people that think that they have a manual, yeah, I don't think so. They're just making things up. You know, they're just wanting to believe that what they have is a manual. And if it works for them, great. But when they sit there and try and be like, you have to use my manual, this is an individual experience. No one is going to be left behind. Not anyone. No one is going to be left behind. We're simply at different levels. Think of it like grades in school. Some people are graduating college, others are just entering kindergarten. Is the kid just entering kindergarten any more or less worthy than the guy just graduating college? No. They simply are at different levels of experience. So that's how this whole ascension things works. Like, no one is getting left behind. Everyone is at just different levels of experience. So can we please drop the, oh, some people are going to ascend to 5D Earth and live in some sort of utopia while the rest are going to be condemned to 3D reality and blah. Or, oh, those people are NPCs, or those people are soulless, or those people are going to hell. Can we please just set that down and let that go? Because none of that is true. Those are your own personal beliefs, and I mean other people may share those beliefs. It does not make them true. We can verify the veracity of a belief by comparing it to objective reality that exists. The reality that you can see with your eyes, smell with your nose, hear with your ears, taste with your tongue, and touch with your hands. Okay? And if any belief does not actually be congruent with the physical reality that you're experiencing, it's not reality that's in question. I think it's the belief. So, who is so high vibration that they literally just get to float around on a cloud with some wings, attended by angels all day and never has a bad thing happen? Nobody. Who is so high vibration that the sun literally never sets on them and that they never eat a bite of food that tastes bad? Who? Nobody. Who is so low vibration that literally darkness enshrouds them as they're walking through the world? Nobody. Who is so low vibration that a legion of demons comes out of hell and drags them down to be suffering and punished forever? Nobody. Not once in the history of reality has any of those things ever happened. Not once. Not once. We may come to this with different levels of understanding, different perspectives of belief, different cultures, histories, traditions, but that doesn't make anybody better or worse. than anyone else. We are all going through this together. Every single one of us has enough divine worth that the universe manifested this being onto this planet. Every single one of us is so unconditionally loved that we are imbued with free will and allowed to be just as light or as dark as we wish to be without judgment or punishment, because not once will an angel come out of your sky and bop you on the head and say, stop doing that, nor will a, legion of demons come out of the earth and cheer you on and push you to go do something that you don't want to do because they're trying to like condemn you or whatever. These are all human ideas and beliefs. And while I do work in the multidimensional realms of things like entities, entities are constructs of human consciousness, no more, no less. Constructs of human consciousness. The more people believe in and feed that construct, the greater strength it has. And there are weak constructs and strong constructs, but it's just a construct of energy and consciousness that we generate and that our consciousness allows to exist and affect us. That's all it is. That's all it is. I look at them and I see them as little bits of dirty human consciousness that just need to be wiped off and reminded they're divine and sent home. That's how I view it. And treating them that way, I have been able to clear so many inappropriate situations for people that you wouldn't even believe. I have got stories, okay? So let's just gracefully let go of the idea that there is any one right way to interact with the divine. Because if you think about the definition of God as given by various different religions and philosophies, God seems to have some pretty stable attributes. Okay. Omnipresent means everywhere all the time. Everywhere all the time means right here, right now, part of me, part of you, the camera that I'm talking to, the computer that's being, this chair that I'm sitting on, house that I'm living in, and you everywhere all the time, nowhere God is not. So also means part of us. Every single thing, every single one. No one is excluded. Omnipresent. All right. Omniscient contains the sum knowledge of everything in the universe, knows everything all the time, everywhere all the time. So I am known. You are known. All of us are known. All of us, all of it. Our thoughts, our beliefs, our opinions, our behaviors, it is all known, every single one of us. Omnipotent means can create or destroy anything, everywhere, all the time, and does. And so if God is literally part of us right now, knows what's in our heart, what we're thinking, what we're doing, all of our behaviors, everything, has the ability to create or destroy us at any given moment and doesn't, like where's the disapproval come in? I mean, why would a being that is here right now with me and knows everything about me and has the ability to just squash me like a bug or blow me up or, turn me into a giant or any of those things, like, I mean, could literally do anything in any given moment. Why would such a being ever create something and then be like, well, I disapprove of what I just created. So instead of doing something about it, I'm going to create this horrible place that I'm going to send them after they die while giving them no consequences right now whatsoever from, any kind of these beings that, I've created. We're going to give them no consequences right now, but after they die, we're going to consciously punish them in a lake of fire forever. It doesn't make any logical sense because if this being is here right now, knowing us completely, with the power to change whatever, like what logical reason would such a being have to tolerate anything that it dislikes for even a second? If it went against God, we wouldn't even have a concept of it. We wouldn't even have the ability to conceive of it. Okay. So that is not to say that I understand why all of the bad things in the world exist. I don't. But I do understand that the fourth attribute of the universe, of God, of creation, of all that is, seems to be unconditional love. And unconditional is unconditional. And my personal belief, my personal understanding is that God meets us where we are. And you can use God, source, creator, universe, all that is, whatever the term is. I'm most familiar with and comfortable with God, so I'm just going to keep using that. But please substitute that word with the one that you like best, that resonates most with you. But God meets every single one of us exactly where we are and interacts with us on the level that we are able to accept and understand. That's what I think. And I think that that explains how, you know, all of these diverse, beautiful spiritual experiences exist. Every single one of them is valid because the universe, God, is interacting with every single one of us on the level that we personally can accept and understand. And so your beautiful experiences of faith are absolutely valid. And so are mine. And so are everyone else's. And the part that humans get wrong is when I think my experience is superior and the only right way, and try to force everyone else to believe what I do or else. I think that's where we get it wrong. But I think that that is something that is shifting as part of this ascension. And so that's part of why I'm choosing to share this perspective today, because I feel like if we want to know the truth about it, the truth is actually inclusive. Okay. The truth does not exclude anyone. Okay. So when we talk about the ascension, inclusive includes everyone. When we talk about God and how God interacts with humanity, inclusive includes everyone. Doesn't make anyone bad, dirty, or wrong. Okay. That's the second thing that we can really do to start helping ourselves to feel a lot more comfortable with this process, because we can let go of the idea that any of the people that we love, and even the ones that we don't, are going to be left behind in any way, or hurt or punished in any way because of what they believe. We are all unconditionally loved by the universe and given free choice to do anything that we wish without divine judgment or punishment coming down on anyone's heads. And that aligns with objective reality that exists. And if I have an understanding that causes me to shift that perspective, if I learn information that helps me to know that I'm somehow wrong, well, then I'll change my perspective. But yeah, I no matter who has tried to argue with me otherwise, these ideas that I have, like, they don't exclude those ideas. It just means, all right, well, that's very nice that that's your belief and your experiences are absolutely valid. And that is how you interact with the divine, and thus how the divine interacts with you. So I wish you all the most beautiful, deepest, fullest, most loving experience of the creative force of the universe that you can possibly have. And if you want to get forceful or ugly towards me, well, I'll just go ahead and have my experience over here away from you, where we don't have to irritate each other with our presence. And I think that that's the most compassionate thing to do. Just allowing everyone the grace and space to have their own experience without the weight of my judgment upon them. I don't need to judge them. I got enough going on in my own stuff. All right, so now down to some practicalities. With the big energies that are going through, today is August 9th. We just came out of 8-8 Lionsgate. That's a big energy. We're currently in Mercury retrograde. That's a big energy. We have got the solar flares popping off. We've been in solar storms, and the electromagnetic field of the earth is just whoa, 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 whoa. And so that's a big energy. We've also got the Schumann resonance that has been fluctuating greatly. And there's another big energy. And I don't know if you've looked around at the collective consciousness of humanity and been out in public, but people don't seem to be having the greatest time out there. Everybody's in this big energy with us, and most of them have no idea what's going on. And so they're just all of these feelings and all of this stuff. And everybody's at different levels of awareness and consciousness in regards to these energies. And so the more conscious you are of these energies, the more consciously you can respond to them and integrate them. The less conscious you are of these energies, the less aware that you are of what's going on, the less you have the ability to respond to them gracefully, and the more reactive you're going to be. And that also helps to kind of explain why everything's a little bit wobbly out there. All right. And again, we just need to give people grace and space. So it's important to understand, like, this is a planetary process. All of us are being affected. Those of us with a deeper understanding of the energetic nature of reality and what's going on are having a bit of an easier time with it. Those who are still at those, lower grades, using that analogy again, they're going to be a lot more reactive. They're going to have a much rougher time with the whole thing. And many of them, especially those that are so invested in the older energies that are being just vibrated off of the planet right now, may actually need to leave their bodies and reincarnate in order to be able to start working in the new energies of the planet. Doesn't mean they're being left behind. No one is being left behind. We are all eternal divine beings with sacred souls, and our soul just puts on a new garment of physical flesh, and then it continues the experience of life. And there is a long history and tradition of that. And I have had more experiences of my own verifying that I've had past lives than I'm willing to get into in this short video. Short? Are we still short? I don't know. Thank you for being with me, however long this is. All right, so practical things that we can do knowing what's going on in the planet. So some of the things going on the planet include the frequency of the Earth is shifting. The base frequency of the Schumann resonance was formerly, I believe, 7.83, if my brain is not right now. And that has been fluctuating wildly. So getting my little phone over here, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the Schumann resonance right now. And we're going to see if I can make that big enough for you to see. And so you can actually see on this graph how this is not a stable thing. We've got like all of these big, just pulses and fluctuations going through the planet. And so this actually represents a challenge in grounding our energy to the earth, where most of us are actually walking around ungrounded most of the time because most of us are wearing rubber-soled shoes, and most people are not spending a lot of time actually physically connected to the earth. So that's one of the first things that you can do, is make sure that you are physically grounding and connecting with the earth. Bare feet on the earth. Sit your rear end on the earth. Lay down on the earth. Get yourself some grounding sheets. I'm personally using some very high quality ones from a company called antiagingbed.com. And if you go over there, you can use code all capital letters Phoenix to get 5% off whatever grounding mattress covers or other devices that you might wish to purchase there. But I've got my grounding mattress cover for the last several months, and that has been a game changer in my personal life, in my inflammation levels, my pain levels, my energy levels. Like, I've got so much less inflammation. I have got so much less pain. I have got so much better energy on a daily basis. I had no idea. I had no idea it was that important. So, getting grounded, especially if you can do that all night long while you're sleeping, is going to be super important because Gaia, our beautiful planet, is actually transmitting these frequencies to us and assisting our bodies in this ascension process. Our nervous system, our physical body are being upgraded and literally changed to be able to work with these new big energies that are on the planet, because they're not slowing down. Not slowing down at all. So there are some specific crystals that you can use to assist you in grounding into the new energy of the earth. So the first one, garnet. Garnet is the crystal that is stepping forward to assist us with grounding into the new energy of the earth. I like a bracelet. I wear my bracelet all the time. You can also get yourself a lovely little garnet pocket piece. This one is a nice little polished piece, and it's a beautiful heavy stone. But some days I feel like I just want to carry this bad boy around and just be like, all right, here we go. We're just gonna hold on for the ride. Just because there are days that I feel like I'm white knuckling it. And having the garnet present really, really does help, because this is the stone that is stepping forward to assist us in grounding into the new frequencies of the earth. It's kind of like the frequencies of the earth are a radio station, and we're used to the radio station being at 99.6, but it is now changed to 99.9, but everybody's still trying to tune into 99.6, and they're just like, I don't know why I can't get the station. I don't know why I can't get grounded. Well, garnet is the stone that is assisting us to tune in to the new higher frequencies of the planet, and to also help support and stabilize our physical bodies. I also have a lot of wonderful organite tools that can also assist us with this process as well. These are a combination of 29 crushed and powdered metals and crystals in a resin matrix, which includes garnet, shungite, copper, citrine, selenite, so many others. Perpetually self-clearing and self-charging. If you are an energetically sensitive individual that is picking up too much unwanted energy from around you, this helps to stabilize your energy field so that you are not picking up so much unwanted energy from the world around you. You can pick up my personal specific organite at phoenixhealingcreations.com. And it is in a lot of forms. I have got pyramids. I have got fidget spinners that have organite on the front and the back. And when you spin them, it helps to actually clear the space. I have got coasters. I have got pendants. I have got wands. I have got a ton of options, totems, all kinds of various different things with all kinds of various different intentions that are intended to support and protect you through these high energy fluctuations. These are also highly effective against electromagnetic radiation that is non-native, man-made, 3G, 4G, 5G, all of that stuff. It helps to harmonize those frequencies so that they no longer bother your physical body. And I do guarantee that you will be satisfied with your purchase, or you are welcome to return it for a refund. phoenixhealingcreations.com, once again for that particular option for you. Another thing, the electromagnetic field around our planet is literally being just changed and fluctuating wildly because of all of this energy from the sun that keeps hitting it, causing these wild fluctuations in the magnetic field of our planet. And that causes our own personal magnetic field to go out of balance. And when our own personal magnetic field is out of balance, that can cause mild to acute discomfort, fatigue, dizziness, inflammation, and cause or exacerbate chronic issues. And so, wearing or carrying a magnet is going to be very helpful. So, I also like to do my little hematite magnetic bracelet. So that is magnetic, and you can tell because it is attracted to itself. Wearing it on the left side, the right side, some days it's going to feel better. You can also carry like magnets. I like a nice magnetic buzzer. Never mind that I just dropped that. So these are fun. They're fun to fidget with. They make a fun noise. You can even just use a regular old refrigerator magnet. Namaste. So just a regular refrigerator magnet. You can tuck that in your pocket. You can tuck that in your bra. See if it feels better on a different place in your body. And that's going to help to fortify your personal magnetic field against these great big fluctuations that are going on affecting the whole of the planet, especially if you are experiencing any of those symptoms: mild to acute discomfort, fatigue, dizziness, inflammation, or your chronic issues are flaring up. It's a good idea to wear or carry a magnet. All right. Another thing too, we need lots of electrolytes. Okay, so this is my personal favorite brand. These are superior electrolytes. These are made with Himalayan pink salt, and they contain the full spectrum of minerals. If you are going to do electrolytes, you want to look at the full spectrum of minerals. The reason that electrolytes are so important right now is because electrolytes is how our body moves energy through our whole system. They are required. If you are having heart palpitations, if you are having fatigue, if you've got physical pain, all of those various different kind of things can be caused or exacerbated by a lack of minerals. And most of our water that we're drinking is pretty mineral stripped. All right. And if it does have some minerals, usually it's only a couple that have been added for taste if you're drinking bottled water. So getting a high quality electrolyte, this one is Superior Electrolytes. I will stick a link in the comments down there so you can find it. There's a lot of flavors. I like to mix the raspberry and the watermelon. And you want to get at least 2 doses of the electrolytes a day. However, always make sure that you're checking in with your own body. Learn how to do some muscle testing. If you want to do some muscle testing and you would like some help learning that, I do have a course that I can send you that you can learn on your own. And then I do a personal consultation on top of that course where you bring a bunch of stuff and then we muscle test that together. You do it and I verify you. And then I can help view your energy field, see what's going on in there, and help you identify, all right, when is my energy gone off? When is my energy gone off? Speaking of energy going off, every single client that I've been working with lately, their energy field has been basically like in a snarl. That's the easiest way that I can describe it. So there's 4 different energy states that can happen that I am aware of. Okay, the first one is blocked. Blocked is where some energy in your field is not flowing at all, or it's moving very sluggishly. This can feel very blah. It can feel stuck. It can feel constipated. You can just feel blocked. All right. Second energy state is called switched. Switched is when some energy in your body starts flowing in the opposite direction of what it's supposed to be. Switched often feels very bad in the body and can be associated with symptoms that are big and pop up like really quickly. So, if you all of a sudden get sick, if you have an allergic reaction, if you have nausea or massive headache, like diarrhea out of nowhere, those can be indicative of a switched energy state. Third one is inverted. Inverted is when energy is flowing in almost an inside out manner. It feels very weird. It can feel similar to switched, but there's an element of, I don't know, I just feel weird and I don't know how to describe it or put my finger on it. Like I can't figure this out. All right. There can be an element of confusion to that. And then the fourth energy state is dispersed. And dispersed is when our energy field is too big, too wide. Almost imagine it like you see this behind me, except imagine it like 10 times wider and very like gauzy and thin. And so that's dispersed. And when we're dispersed, we can feel just utterly exhausted while simultaneously being extra irritable and sensitive to the energies around us. People, media, things kind of easily triggered, that can indicate a dispersed condition. So, to correct these, you're going to want to get your handy dandy little energy tool, whether that is a crystal, whether that is a magnet, whether that is a piece of organite, or you could just use your hand. The purpose of the energy tool is to tell your subconscious, I mean business, and also to amplify and magnify your intention. You're going to be swiping your energy tool over your governing meridian, which starts at the tip of your nose, goes up over the top of your head, down to the base of your spine. It also runs through your hand, through the middle finger there. So if you've seen other videos of mine, you'll notice I use my hand. When you're first starting out, and when I first started out, it's better to use your governing meridian over the top of your head. So we're going to do this statement 3 times, and I invite you to do this with me. I reorganize myself. I revert myself. I unblock myself. I unswitch myself. I reorganize myself. I revert myself. I unswitch myself. I unblock myself. I reorganize myself. I revert myself. I unswitch myself. I unblock myself. And that puts all of the energy back flowing in the proper and appropriate directions. It's very quick, it's very easy. You can do it on yourself, you can do it for someone else. But that is an easy way, something that you can have with you all the time that will assist you to feel better no matter what you're going through. So, I think that about sums up everything that I wanted to talk about today in terms of how to help yourself feel better and move better through all of this great big energy with a bit more ease and grace. I hope that you have found this helpful and enlightening. I am going to post some links in the description underneath this video so that you can just quickly and easily get to those resources. I also am available to assist you. So if you are just too overwhelmed, you have no idea what to do, you're really struggling a lot, and you would like some assistance, I am here to support providing energy healing. And we can release, trapped emotions, beliefs, and energy imbalances that are just causing everything to be a mess. I do guarantee that what I find will be relevant for you or I refund. And I also promise that I will treat you with compassion and kindness and guide you to the absolute best of my ability. We are all doing this journey together. And it is, we can only do it step by step. We can only do it from the context of knowing what we know, and we need to give ourselves some grace and peace for not knowing what we didn't know. And the best thing that we can do to support ourselves through all of this is to support ourselves with some grace and some kindness and some compassion to the very best of your ability most of the time. And so I invite you to journey together as much or as little as you want. And I am here to support you. So please do like and subscribe to this channel so that you can get more content when I do post it. I'm not an everyday poster. I don't think I'm ever going to be, but I am going to come pop back on here when I feel like I have something valuable to add to the collective conversation. So thank you very much for being here with me in this time of the great evolution. It is an honor to be with you here on this planet. I am sending you blessings of love, light, peace, healing, freedom, truth, and abundance to light your journey. And I just hope that things kind of start to ease up, because I don't know about you, but I'm tired. All this big energy has been a lot. So, I don't know. It'll be what it'll be, and we're just going to keep flowing through it with as much authenticity as possible. Have a beautiful rest of your day.